Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 6 p.m. Cairo local time. The Shuru back here, I'll accompany you through the latest development in the region and internationally, starting off with the headlines, followed with the details. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi witnesses the swearing ceremony of new heads of judicial bodies. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli sends cable of congratulations to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on June Revolution anniversary. And Gaza's Civil Defense Agency says Israel airstrikes and gunfire killed at least 17 people, including 3 children. Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stressed on the importance of consolidating the state's rule of law, which prioritized justice and equality. He also stressed the independence of judiciary and hailed the role of the bodies protecting the rights, freedom, and position of the people, and in developing judicial mechanisms. This came during the swearing ceremony of new heads of judicial bodies. President el-Sisi also, then the Councillor Asim Abdel Latif Al-Saeed Abdel Fattah took the oath before President el-Sisi to become head of the Court of Cassation on Sunday. Councillor Osman Yusuf also took the oath before President el-Sisi to become head of the State Council. Councillor Hussein Matkour took the oath to become head of the State Lawsuits Authority, while Councillor Muhammad Ahmad Khalil Hafiz Khalil was sworn to become head of the Administrative Protection Authority. President el-Sisi issued a Republican order pardoning a number of prisoners on the occasion of June 30th anniversary, according to the Republican order number 332 for the year 2025. The prisoners will not be serving the rest of their terms. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli sent cable of congratulations to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on the occasion of the 20th anniversary of June Revolution. Madbouli said that this occasion will remain a remarkable sign in the nation's history and represents an uprising of the Egyptian people. Prime Minister Madbouli promised President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi that the government would exert its utmost efforts to continue the path of integrated development nationwide and to achieve the people's aspirations. The General Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of Defense and Military Production, General Abdelmajid Sakr, sent a greeting cable to President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on the occasion of the 30th of June anniversary. Ministry of Defense stressed that the army under the leadership of President el-Sisi would remain strong and impregnable in protecting Egypt's national security, land, and people. Meanwhile, President el-Sisi received congratulatory cables from top state officials, including Armed Forces, Chief of Staff General Ahmed Khalifa, Minister of Interior Mahmoud Tawfiq, and Senate Speaker Councillor Abdel Wahab on the same occasion. The officials wished President el-Sisi and the Egyptian people peace and prosperity. On behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli will participate on Monday in the opening session of the UN 4th Conference on Financing Development that will be held in Spain. Prime Minister is due to attend the launching of a civil platform, and the Prime Minister will also deliver Egypt's speech during the general sessions of the conference. On the sidelines of the visit, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli is scheduled to hold important meetings with heads of government of some countries and heads of regional and international institutions and organizations. Foreign Minister Abdul Ati stressed the need to end the Israeli aggression against Palestinians and stressed that Egypt stand against the deportation of Palestinians. Abdul Ati was speaking as he received EU Special Representative for the Middle East Peace Process, Christophe Bigot. The Foreign Ministry's spokesman said that Abdul Ati reviewed during the meeting efforts by Cairo in cooperation with Qatar and the US to reach a ceasefire in Gaza, exchange exchange of hostages and the entry of humanitarian aid. Abdelati touched on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the continuation of the Israeli blockade of the Strip, as well as the dangerous escalation in the West Bank. He also stressed the need for immediate end to flagrant attack by Israeli settlers against the Palestinians. He said that this is the only path towards reaching peace and stability in the region. Gaza's civil defense agency said Israeli airstrikes and gunfire killed at least 17 people, including 3 children, in the war-stricken Palestinian territory today. Civil defense state was not going to stand for the continued persecution of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on corruption charges. Netanyahu responded to thanking the U.S. president and saying both sides will make the Middle East great again. An Israeli court on Friday rejected Netanyahu's request to postpone giving testimony on his corruption trial, ruling that he had not provided adequate justification for his request in one case. Netanyahu and his wife Sarah are accused of accepting more than $260 million worth of luxury goods such as cigars, jewelry, champagne from billionaires in exchange for political favors. In 2 other cases, Netanyahu is accused of attempting to negotiate more favorable coverages from 2 Israeli media outlets. Netanyahu has denied any wrongdoing, and his lawyer had asked the court to excuse the leader from hearing over the next 2 weeks, saying he needs to concentrate on security issues. An Israeli court postponed today Prime Minister Netanyahu's testimony in his corruption trial after he requested a delay with the support of U.S. President Donald Trump in a ruling published by the Premier Party. Netanyahu's lawyer said and asked the court to excuse him from testifying over the next 2 weeks so he could focus on security issues following a ceasefire with Iran and end ongoing fighting in Gaza, where Israeli hostages are held. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said that his competitors had given their blood during a 12-day war with Israel, but not honor as Iran held a state funeral. He said that Iranians gave blood, not land, gave their loved ones, not honor. They withstood a 1,000-ton rain of bombs, but did not surrender, adding that Iran does not recognize the word surrender. Iran's judiciary said today that at least 71 people were killed in Israel's attack on Tehran's Evin prison, a notorious facility where many political prisoners and dissidents have been held. Judiciary spokesman posted on the office's official Mizan news agency. Those killed on Monday included staff, soldiers, prisoners, and members of visiting families. It was not possible to independently verify the claim. The June 23rd attack, the day before the ceasefire between Israel and Iran took hold, hit several prison buildings and prompted concerns from right groups about the safety of the inmates. It remains unclear why Israel targeted the prison, but it came on a day when the Defense Ministry said it was attacking regime targets and government repression bodies in the heart of Tehran. Fresh Russian strikes targeting Ukrainian regions in the night of Saturday to Sunday wounded people, and the Ukrainian authorities made the statement since launching its invasion in February 2022. Russia has launched near nightly bombardment of its neighbors' towns and cities, raining down drones and missiles on military and civilian targets alike, according to the Ukrainian Air Force, which said that it had anticipated 475 and 39 of those respectively. In the riot, the Russian army launched 477 drones and 60 missiles of various types. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian F-16 fighter pilot was killed while repelling a Russian attack that involved hundreds of drones, cruise and ballistic missiles, authorities said on Sunday, as Moscow intensifies nighttime air barrage in the fourth year of war. Dozens of anti-government protesters were detained during clashes with Riyadh police in Serbia's capital on Saturday during a massive rally against populist President Alexander Vučić, demanding an early parliamentary election. Details follow.
Dozens of anti-government protesters were detained during clashes with riot police in Serbia's capital during a massive rally against populist President Alexander Vučić, demanding an early parliamentary election. The protest by tens of thousands of demonstrators were held after nearly 8 months of persistent dissent led by Serbia's university students. Police handcuffed detained protesters, and an officer was seen injured on the ground during street battles in central Belgrade. Vučić, a former extreme nationalist, has come increasingly authoritarian since coming to power more than a decade ago. Though he formally says he wants Serbia to join the European Union, critics say Vučić has stifled democratic freedoms as he strengthened ties with Russia and China. As the protest formally ended, the demonstrations threw eggs, plastic bottles and other objects at the police, who were preventing the crowd from approaching a downtown park.
Moving to business, Minister of Agriculture and Land Reclamation Ala Farouk met with Spain's Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food, Luis Blanas. The meeting took place on the sidelines of the 6th Conference of African and European Union Ministers of Agriculture and Food Security, held at the headquarters of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in Rome, Italy. The meeting discussed ways to enhance joint cooperation between the two countries. Officials said that the meeting comes within the framework of strengthening cooperation with European Union countries and promoting Egyptian agriculture exports in the global market. Ala Farouk emphasized the importance of cooperation with the Spanish side in the fields of modern irrigation and smart agriculture based on advanced technology. He also stressed the importance of exchanging expertise in the agriculture value chains and encouraging agricultural investment to improve the efficiency of water and land resources. For his part, the Spanish Minister of Agriculture praised the quality of Egyptian agriculture products and their international reputation in the global market. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this edition of the Political and Business News. Thank you for watching. That was me, Shirul Bakir.